So you said, so Jan, is gerrymandering cool now? I'm just going to ban you. You're not advocating, you're not talking about this in good faith.
I'm going to ban you. No, it's not about gerrymandering. It's about owning the Dems.
So you're not advocating, you're not talking about this in good faith. Lock them up and send them to a workers' camp. That's right. You thought you had a problem with Democrats? Put them in jail. Problem solved. Yeah, and it's not about what's right or wrong or what's fair or what the right thing to do is. Or
of course, we know it's never anything about that. Yeah, of course.
This happened 10 minutes ago. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says state troopers have been deployed and are now actively searching the streets to locate and arrest Democratic House members who fled the state.
Representatives and bring them back to Austin to establish a quorum?
So that is correct. And Will, as we're talking right now,
oh my
Texas
God.
Department of Public Safety officers are on the streets looking for those Democrat House members to arrest them.
They're on, bro,
that's fucking epic and based. Oh my God, that's so based.
Jesus.
To take them to the Texas Capitol.
You're hiding Democrats under the floorboards, aren't you?
To hold them there until a quorum is reached.
All right, and then, and that may, I'm not sure how many, can you tell me how many different representatives we're talking about are in the state of Texas? I believe you're 6 short right now of a quorum.
I won't read into it at all, but it's a funny analogy.
Would that number bring you to a quorum?
Got to catch them all, right?
So that's a fact that we don't know yet. We don't know which Democrats remain in the state who are not yet identified.
Hiding
we don't know exactly how many are out of state. But know this also, Will, and that is the Texas Department of Public Safety is also working.
Explain this to a non-American viewer. So basically what happened in Texas is they were going to have a vote on redistricting, like the voting, and the redistricting was going to be in favor of this guy's party. And basically all of the people of the opposite party decided to literally pack up their toys and go home. They said, fuck you, we're not going to vote on this. We're going to leave the entire state. And we're going to shut the entire thing down and prevent the vote from happening. Well, apparently, abdicate.
Do you think he had this much energy for Mike Johnson shutting down the fucking Congress because they didn't want to take a vote on any Epstein-related shit? Or do you think Asmon thinks it's a little bit more epic when Republicans are children versus when Democrats don't want their states to be redistricted to all hell?
Or whatever, like leaving your post of duty is against the law. And it's apparently also a felony. So now this is the governor of Texas who has mobilized the Texas state troopers to arrest the Democrat elected officials and bring them back.
Isn't it kind of performative, though? Like, it's going to be redistricted anyway? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe bringing this much attention to it. I don't know. And also, what do you mean? You might as well fight on this. What else are they there to do, but if not to fight on issues like this? And if that's what breaks quorum, fuck it, dude. Marry yourself to the process. If you want to break process by adhering to process as much as possible, go for it. I think it's totally fair. Fuck it. Fucking A.
To the state capitol to make them vote on the bill that will cause them to lose. Yep. Dire election of Tootie. Yep. Oh my God. It's called the law. It is. It's the rules. That's the way the rules are. I think the FBI is involved too. Yeah. And so that's pretty much where it's at.
And remember, like, these guys are laughing at you, right? When they're throwing the rule book at you because they don't believe in rules. They don't believe in rules, okay? Asmongold is he streaming on Kick yet? Asmongold would turn his Twitch stream off and then stream on Kick or some other platform if it meant he could do like live reacts to politicians getting, and he would laugh and call it epic and based. 100 million%. He'd be playing Game of Thrones memes in the background while it's happening.
The equivalent of going AWOL. Lock them up and send them to a workers' camp. That's right. You thought you had a problem with Democrats? Well, Greg Abbott has the solution. Put them in jail. Problem solved.
With officials in other states to find ways in which we can try to arrest the Texas Democrat members.
So they're just trying to throw whatever they can at them. They're just trying to put them in jail. Sounds like a huge manufactured plan. Why can't they just forfeit it since that's clearly their point in fleeing? I don't know. Like, in my opinion, I think that he does.
This is the whole point of Epstein. Trump promised them public lynchings of Dems. They didn't give a shit about whether Trump himself does kids. Nice grammar.
Just have the will of the public behind him to do this. I think that a lot of people, if they saw like all of the like Jasmine Crockett and all of these like fucking, I don't know if she's one of the ones that's involved with this actually, to be honest, but all of the people that cause problems like this, like that Asian guy, etc. If they see these people being escorted back into the Capitol building with handcuffs on, I'm
sorry, I just want to double check that I'm not fucking retarded. Crockett is a U.S. representative, right? I don't think that she would be involved with this, but okay.
I can guarantee you his poll numbers will go up. I can promise you that will happen. People have been waiting for an actual enforcement of a degree of accountability for a very long time. And if he actually...
Remember, when they tried to give you enforcement and a degree of accountability with Donald Trump, though, people like Asmongold were literally shitting and pissing and crying themselves about how unfair it was that the legal system was being weaponized. But
he does that and he drops the hammer on them. I think that what it will also do is it will normalize it for Trump to do it too. We're just full on autocracy now? Well, hey, those are the rules. I mean, if you don't, that's too bad.
Those are the rules. That's too bad. But if a Democrat wins in 2028, you better fucking believe that this guy will be crying and crying and crying about every single thing that Dems do. It's not fair. They said they were going to follow the rules. You better fucking believe it. Fuck, I'm trying to think of this is a movie moment. Repeat it right back at him. Everything they say, everything they've done. Oh, okay. Well, the president can do whatever he wants. He has criminal immunity, right?
Yeah, those are the rules. He might just run for president next election. Yeah, I mean, like, the law's the law. You can't skip work, exactly. Bro, what's wrong with you? What do you mean?
I can't skip work. Donald Trump goes on his 27th golf outing. What is quorum and why is it such a big deal? I don't know. I'm literally using context clues, but it sounds like quorum is probably the minimum number of lawmakers necessary to hold votes. And by leaving, they break quorum, meaning there's not enough people there to actually hold a legislative session, so they can't actually take votes on anything. That's what it sounds like.
You're mad? You're mad about what I'm saying? Like, am I... So you said, so Jan, is gerrymandering cool now? I'm just going to ban you. You're not advocating, you're not talking about this in good faith.
I'm going to ban you. No, it's not about gerrymandering. It's about owning the Dems.
So you said, so Jan, is gerrymandering cool now? I'm just going to ban you. You're not advocating, you're not talking about this in good faith. In my opinion, I don't think that they should be arrested, but I think that if they don't show up, they should lose their seat. You can't just simply refuse to show up to a vote because you're unhappy about how it will turn out. I think this is very clearly an abuse of the democratic process. And while I don't agree necessarily...
This is a joke. Remember, this is a joke. They always want to abuse your system or play by your rule set, okay, when it's in their favor. And then when it's in their favor, they don't give a fuck about the rules. Every single time.
I don't really care if it happens. I don't. I think that Democrats have weaponized the legal process enough. I think they did that with Donald Trump.
There it is. Actual cuckoldry right here.
Effectively...
No, that doesn't make sense. It's not cuckoldry because you're the one getting fucked.
I don't. I think that Democrats have weaponized the legal process enough. I think they did that with Donald Trump. They effectively opened this Pandora's box, and now Republicans have 4 years to take complete advantage of it. And if I was them, this is the way that I look at everything. I look at everything from the perspective of, does this get me closer or farther away from my goals? I think that if I was a Republican, this would get me closer to my goals. So I would do it. It's that simple. And it's not about what's right or wrong or what's fair or what the right thing to do is. Or,
of course, we know it's never anything about that. Yeah, of course.
No, absolutely not. You do what works. And that's what works. Not showing up should be an automatic nay vote. Yeah, exactly. They were elected to attend votes, not run away from them. Yes, exactly. Both sides do this, so it's a recognized cheat code. Yeah, it is.
States and bring them back to the state of Texas.
All about winning.
Well, that was my next question I was going to ask you, Governor. Of course, Texas DPS would have limited powers to arrest anyone out of state. Most of these Democrats have fled the state for that express purpose. Representative Oliverson has said that both you and Attorney General Ken Paxton, though, have looked into whether or not they're funding these trips or fundraising off of these trips, which would amount to bribery. Would that open up the potential for you to go retrieve some of these representatives who have fled the state?
Just curious what you think. I think when the pendulum swings with the D leader, it'll just fall short like Barr, and we'll just get screwed infinity. They should go to the max on everything that they could go to the max on. Like, because there's a lot of stuff procedurally even that you can go hard as fuck on. And I think they should do that. There should be a full investigation of basically every single person that's orbiting Trump having to do with improper utilization. I'm sure there are crimes related to doing business improperly. What were they trying to charge Joe Biden with and Hunter Biden with? Whatever conspiracy crimes there relating to abusing the office of the president. I don't know if it's Hatch Act or what, but...
Yep.
It opens up several opportunities. One, bribery in Texas is a felony. Felony is the type of offense that we can issue papers to have these Democrats brought back. Another thing, though, that Democrats don't seem to know, and that is taking or receiving a payment like they have to escape or not take a vote subjects them to forfeiture of their seat. That's going to be one of the...
I am still in the camp of nothing ever happens with this. I'm sorry. Until I see them getting convicted and put in jail. I want to see this happen, bro. Can't Trump order them back even across state borders? Well, that's what's probably going to happen. Is that...
Yeah, right. That would be crazy.
I bet Trump will probably somehow figure out a way to do this federally.
No shot.
So that's it. You break the law, you need to be...
That would be... That's Civil War type shit. Not even Civil War. I don't know what that would be. But like the federal officers going into a state, like the state police, that you'd have like standoff between federal and state. That would be crazy.
Charged with the crime, nobody's above the law? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, again, like, that's what the rules are.
I guess that would be a rebellion or an insurrection, right? Against the federal government? I'm here for it in a video game.
Don't like the rules, then change them.
The legal grounds you're going to see asserted here immediately to seek the vacation or elimination or abandonment of these House seats by the Democrats. So we will remove them from office and call for elections to replace them.
Wow. Well, there it is, guys. There it is. You have to vote to change them? Yeah. Well, they're not voting. And so that's the problem. I won't hold my breath until somebody's in handcuffs. I won't either. I think so. I think this would be really funny if it happened. But again, we're going to have to wait and see if it really will.
All right, changing gears to the late...
Districting drama. Governor Newsom is...
Dude, I love this picture. Oh my God, I love him so much.
Doubling down on his plan to call a statewide special election this November to redraw congressional maps here in the state of California. And new today, Governor Newsom says that Democratic leaders in the legislature are backing his proposal aimed at helping Democrats pick up U.S. House seats across the state during the 2026 election. All of it, according to Governor Newsom, is a response to President Trump and Texas Republicans as they are trying to redraw congressional maps in the Lone Star State to help Republicans win more seats there.
Destiny, probably a dumb question, but how did Mr. Asmongold blow up into a political influencer MAGA dude? I swear the last memory I have was him doing lazy reaction videos. So the problem is that, you know what politics are kind of like? Because everything is like everything else in the universe. Politics is kind of like LLMs, okay? So Asmongold is when I say somebody is a smart person, Asmongold is a pretty smart person, and that he's like a good LLM that can parse stuff and then give you like interesting takes on things and can reasonably sort through stuff to give you just like a, like an intelligent person going through stuff. But the same limitations that exist with LLMs also exist with people that do online politics, and that if the data set is dog shit, then the answers are dog shit. So the problem you run into is people like Asmongold are above average intelligent people, but they get tricked by their own intelligence, and they think that intelligence is a substitute for factual correctness, and they assume that they can just sort through a plethora of information and come to the correct conclusion without taking the time to sanitize the information that they're deriving their opinions from, basically, is the issue. So Asmongold has always been kind of like a logical thinker, smart dude, played video games, huge audience from there. And so people would like to hear his takes on things. But the problem is he's absolutely epistemically retarded. He doesn't know how to discern like good truth or good piece of information from bad piece of information. But if you give him a bunch of bullshit information, he can throw it together in a way that is entertaining and quote unquote logical. Valid, but not sound, maybe in a philosophical sense.
Can win more seats there.
Fox 40 Capitol reporter Eitan Wallace was with Newsom today and has his message.
And we're not going to roll over, and we're going to fight fire with fire.
Governor Gavin Newsom, with that message, vowing to fight President Donald Trump's plan, calling on Republicans in the Texas legislature to redraw congressional districts in the Lone Star State. The idea, according to Trump, is to shift 5 Democratic-leaning districts into Republican-leaning districts, all with the goal to pick up 5 GOP U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm election.
These folks don't play by the rules. If they can't win playing the game with the existing set of rules, they'll change the rules. That's what Donald Trump has done. He's dialing for seats.
The Texas legislature was supposed to vote Monday on new proposed congressional maps put forth by Republicans, but
members, a quorum is not present.
No vote ever took place Monday because Texas Democratic representatives fled the state to prevent the Texas legislature from having a quorum. No quorum means no vote.
Leaving the state does not stop this House from doing its work. It only delays it.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott posting this on social media, calling for the Texas Department of Public Safety to arrest each Democrat who fled the state. Should those Democrats eventually return and should Texas Republicans move forward with their redistricting plan, Newsom says he'll respond with his own plan.
Whatever they are doing will be neutered here in the state of California.
Specifically, he says, if Texas Republicans move forward with their plan, then Newsom would consider a plan to redraw California's 52 congressional districts to help Democrats pick up U.S. House seats statewide in the 2026 midterm election. He makes clear, though, any newly redrawn congressional district maps part of his new plan would need to be approved by California voters in a special election this November. It's a plan California Democratic leaders, including Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas, discussed and endorsed over the weekend.
We're not drawing lines to draw lines. We're holding the line on democracy, on the rule of law.
Newsom acknowledges his plan to redraw congressional district lines in favor of Democrats means changing how the state has drawn maps since 2010. That's when California voters approved an independent redistricting commission made up equally of members from both parties to draw congressional maps.
I'm not in favor of gerrymandering occurring in any state, and I'm certainly not in favor of continually shifting around district lines.
Republican Rockland.
Why abandon Israel-Palestine for all their research? What do you mean? It's not an abandoned topic. It's information you learn and you move on to the next thing. What do you mean? I'm going to debate one topic for the rest of my life. And if anybody intelligent wants to debate it, I'm always open to debate it. But most of the pro-Pally people are intellectually bankrupt and they know that their arguments are bullshit. So they actively avoid conversation on that front.
Congressmember Kevin Kiley is introducing new legislation to nullify any new maps adopted by states before the 2030 census, including the possible new Texas maps in favor of Republicans and possible new California maps in favor of Democrats.
I think it's completely chaotic. It's not good for democracy. And we have much more pertinent things to be worrying about right now as a country and issues to be focused on than redrawing congressional district maps.
Are you concerned about your own congressional seat?
I'm not super concerned about my own seat because I won by 46,000 votes in the last election, but I'm very concerned about democracy in our state, about representative government.
And important to note, Newsom has said he will not move forward with his plan if Trump and Texas Republicans do not move forward with theirs. Reporting near Sacramento, covering local news that matters, Eitan Wallace, Fox 40 News.
Is there a reason why they left the state and didn't just stay home? Probably because if they stay home, they could be arrested and brought to the state legislature, house, or whatever the fuck. Stop!